I just set a new PR for my highest launch with the Toro. 1 meter DLG, 139.7 feet. Yeah, that's 42.58 meters. Blowing away the 40 meter mark. I also picked up some programming tips for the DX9 off of YouTube. So really happy where I have the DX9 program set up now for the Discus-Launch gliders. I got custom voice set up on switches.
Altitude 1 feet.
Okay, let's calibrate that.
Altitude 0 feet.
And then if I want to know my receiver voltage at any given time later in the flight.
Receiver 7.9 volts.
And I got Vario, the ascending and descending tones finally working. I have it set up on a switch.
Telemetry start.
So for me, that was an absolute chore
Telemetry stop.
with my radio. I could not get it to work on either receiver in the Toro or the Snipe 2. I upgraded the airware to the latest revision on the DX9. I updated both receivers, and this was kind of interesting. On the update for the airware, there's a link to update the sounds in the voice prompts and the sounds in the transmitter. For whatever reason, it was not making that sound, so that did it for me. The switch setup, kind of a really cool tip from a fellow YouTuber. Show it to you. Custom voice setup. So go into custom voice setup, and just I never understood this before, but from another fellow YouTuber, thank you. You just add a new sound event. I'm using a switch change report. You change the switch, it gives a report. So when you go to set it up, then you set your switch up, and then you'll get this. So I put this on switch C. So in the up position, it's silent. Come down to here.
Altitude 1 feet. Receiver 7.9 volts.
So there's a whole list of sounds you can select, and if it's something that's linked to telemetry, if you have telemetry feature on the plane, it'll give a one-time report. So pretty simple to set up once you understand what it's doing.
Altitude 1 feet.
And then all the way up is silent. So that is a feature I never knew how to use. Makes it really handy. So here's what I'm doing. Here's my
Cruise mode.
normal cruise mode. I keep this switch right here up. Keep a switch off. I don't want to hear telemetry when I'm launching. So I
Launch mode.
launch preset. It rotates.
Cruise mode.
Whoops.
Speed mode.
In speed mode.
Launch mode.
So that's my preset.
Speed mode.
It rotates. Speed mode as I'm climbing. And right when I push over at the top
Altitude 1 feet.
and get a report,
Cruise mode.
then go into my other flight modes. And then once I'm up and I want to use my Vario,
Telemetry start.
and it's a sound that you don't want on all the time, certainly not on your launch, and maybe even coming in for landing, you can just turn it off. So really happy with how that's working. And everybody knows about this, right? If you go to your telemetry, this clear button will zero it. And now
Altitude 1 feet.
oh, it's showing 1. It's not 1, lady.
Altitude 0 feet.
There you go. And then on the telemetry, you can see, let's turn on
Telemetry start.
Vario. So here's another tip I picked up.
Telemetry stop.
On my Vario. I have it set, lowest setting, 3/10 for lift. So very sensitive to lift. And then you don't want to hear the sync all the time. So there's a bit of a little bit of spacing in there. A little bit of a like a dead zone where you don't have to hear the syncing. So I like that. Like a deadband area in there. Something I forgot to mention, setting up the A switch for turning on the Vario, ascending and descending tones. There's no choice in there for Vario. So just use telemetry start, telemetry stop.
Telemetry start. Telemetry stop.
Just to give some kind of notification that I turned that on. But I was out flying this, checking out, seeing how this all worked. And that's when I hit that personal best launch. So I thought I'd come in here, show this setup, and now we'll go back out and fly it again. Beautiful day. The conditions just been gorgeous all day.
Altitude 0 feet. Speed mode.
Out here in my north field. It's later in the afternoon, a little bit after 4.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Cruise mode. Telemetry stop. Speed mode.
So at any given time, drop the plane on the ground,
Altitude 0 feet.
check your calibration because got a lot of hills here. So if I go down there and launch, I'll know I need to reset it. So let's do a launch and I'll catch the altitude going over the top with the C switch right here.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 83 feet. Cruise mode.
So 83 feet is what it picked up. I don't know, I'm sure there's some kind of delay. So for an official launch, here's what I still say you go by. 83 feet. So that was pretty close. Probably within a foot. Just say 82, I think. So let's reset that.
Altitude 1 feet. Altitude 0 feet.
Okay.
Speed mode.
Let's make another launch and we'll check in on this screen. I think I had to zero this screen too. Yep. Okay. And I'll try to catch it at the top. Then we'll check that screen.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 108 feet.
So coming straight down.
Cruise mode.
Bring it back in. $107. I gotta remember what I said. I don't remember what I said. Video will, you better compare it. So let's see if I'm gonna remember it a little better this time. So re-0.
Altitude 0 feet.
Okay, we're good on
Speed mode.
altitude. And I can just stay here, check my time. I turn on and off of this, and just get a report if I'm really not concerned with it. But we're gonna come back to that screen, check how close we can pick this up.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 104 feet.
104. So let's remember 104.
Telemetry start.
While we're at it with Vario, not picking up any more lift today, later in the afternoon.
Telemetry stop.
Okay, that was 104, right?
Cruise mode. Speed mode.
Let's go check it. What did it? This will catch the absolute, so 105. That's really close. It's just a matter of timing with that switch, and then if there's any delay. So, pretty cool stuff. Really makes this handy. So, I'm going to leave it on this screen. Here's my speed mode.
Cruise mode. Speed mode.
It's my launch mode.
Launch mode.
Here's my preset. It starts my timer. And I can just turn it off.
Mode.
When I land, I can reset it. At any time, I can check my altitude.
Altitude 1 feet.
Okay, so I need to calibrate it. If you're really worried about 1 foot. Kind of done with this screen here, just showing it to you. Come back to here. So I am in speed mode, ready to launch.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Receiver 7.8.
Missed it.
volts.
I didn't leave it set where I needed it.
Cruise mode.
So Vario works. It's pretty sensitive, even down low. The Vario tones, you can see it better with Vario on, obviously.
Cruise mode.
So 34-second flight. I'm surprised. Thermals have kind of really stopped today. So reset that.
Speed mode.
Speed mode, I had this switch on altitude and I pulled it down and hit, gave the receiver voltage. So I got to remember to return that. So
Launch mode.
get it right this time.
Speed mode. Altitude 106 feet. Cruise mode.
106.
Telemetry start.
I'm in sync.
Thermal mode.
So you can see down low what it's doing, but if you pick a little bit of something up, it's pretty sensitive going up. It's got to drop 3.2 feet to have the descending tones. So it detects change, barometric pressure. See that little bit right there? Pick that up. That's interesting. Pick that up coming in. Now I can just turn it off. Don't want to hear it during the launch. Forgot to hit my timer. So there's almost a minute flight.
Cruise mode. Speed mode.
Okay. And now
Altitude 0 feet.
calibration's good. Stand in the same spot basically. All right, let's send one.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 119 feet.
There you
Cruise
go.
mode.
A little better.
Turn Vario on.
Telemetry start.
We are sinking. Depressing sound. A little bit of bobble up. You are stuck in sync.
Thermal mode. Cruise mode. Telemetry stop.
Oh, didn't get home.
Cruise mode. Cruise mode. Speed mode.
So a lot going on, but actually very handy. Very handy. I like the features. And when I get going up in the thermal, sometimes I'm like, okay, how high am I? Just trigger the altitude button. Don't have to look down at the screen. I've lost the plane location in the sky. You want to bring the radio up, show it to you, but then look back up. And I even noticed on the video, it's picking it up on the video because it's small on the video. It's like, don't have to do that anymore. All right.
Speed mode. Altitude 106 feet. Cruise mode. Telemetry start.
So we do not have the same air that I had earlier this afternoon, without a question. Wind direction's actually switched. Pick that a little bit up. I saw it. I see that too. So sensitive.
Telemetry stop.
Okay, I'm actually launching side wind. Wind direction has changed on me here. Oh, mister.
Cruise mode.
So 54-second flight. Yeah, the wind switched to the
Speed mode.
south now. All right.
Altitude 1 feet.
Okay, a little bit higher over there. Step back over here.
Altitude 1 feet.
If we care.
Altitude negative 1 feet. Altitude 0 feet.
All right, it's more than close enough for what we're doing here. All right, I need to launch that way. There you go. I can feel it now. It's in my face. See what kind of a launch we can get.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 105 feet. Telemetry start.
Any chance of catching a late evening thermal here? You can even tell how well you're making your turns. Like, see if I lose on a downwind turn. A little bit. Not bad.
Thermal mode.
Try down here low. Held it on that turn. Lost it there.
Cruise mode. Telemetry stop.
We'll make it home. Barely.
Cruise mode.
I double clutched on my launch preset. It'll stop and start it. Watch.
Cruise mode. Cruise mode.
I can also clear it here, but
Speed mode.
so get into my zoom mode. When I hit my launch preset, don't double clutch. Don't let off it till I release it on the zoom. So Here we go. Feel the breeze for sure that way.
Launch mode. Speed mode. 3D mode. Altitude 118 feet.
Okay, so that was a better launch.
Telemetry start.
I'll sink over there. I'll turn into it. It's upwind. Yep. Late evening thermal. I can see it. But it's sensitive. I saw that before it said it. Little dip there. Wasn't 3 feet. So what was that? 100 and... I don't remember the launch height, but listen.
Altitude 98 feet.
Okay. So we're down some from our launch. And we'll stay with this thermal.
Altitude 103 feet.
So we've gained. Uh-oh, fell out of it. Ooh, sinking on the downwind turn.
Altitude 110 feet.
Okay, we've gained a little. Working it. Working a thermal down low. Climbing the whole time. Cord out in a soft thermal.
Altitude 114 feet.
Technology, baby. We're in one.
Altitude 124 feet.
There you go. It's higher than we launched. Oh, sinking. Okay, we're going to leave this. Now I'm going to do thermal 2. I'm going to really milk this. See what kind of late evening flight. So I've just added a bit more camber with my slider. Need real soft, gentle turns here. Haven't lost nothing. Wow, that's an efficient glide. It's full camber. Now I'm back to thermal. See if I pick up anything in here. I'm gonna bring this all the way in on thermal. Not gonna switch to cruise mode. Oh, looks like I lost airspeed.
3D mode.
And 3 minutes 16 seconds. Milking her out in thermal mode. My slider back here. I'll show it to you. I'll show you all my settings. So here's my launch mode.
Speed mode.
Here's my launch preset for rotation.
Speed mode.
There's back to the speed mode for the zoom.
Cruise mode.
Push over top into cruise.
Thermal mode.
Here is thermal, where I have some camber added. And then this slider back here, I can incrementally just add up to that much flaps or camber. And what I'm doing there is it's got to be pretty smooth air as far as how it handles with the ailerons. But that is to ultimately milk out a flight or real soft, smooth thermals. You saw how it went all the way across the sky there and it didn't lose altitude. So there it is. There's my setup. It's working really handy for me. Sure makes it fun. Maximizing the programming on the DX9, which I wasn't real impressed at first, but as I've learned, come to find out it's all in there. You just have to learn how to program it. Let's have a little fun. We'll do a little sport flying. I'll show you the handling of the Toro on sport flying.
Speed mode. Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 110 feet. Cruise mode.
Okay, so I'm going to go into
D mode.
3D mode with snap flaps. Here's the roll rate, loop,
Cruise mode.
and brakes.
Launch mode. Speed mode. Altitude 113 feet. Cruise mode. 3D mode. Cruise mode.
Here's something I've even done. Inverted flight.